We are live. Everybody, welcome to Collapsing with Casey, the Friday live stream edition. Today's title, Decapitation, Vacation Destination. So join the channel, the Zoom, and let me know your favorite decapitation vacation destinations. As always, we gotta start with about a peanut butter whiskey. This is the Fire Screwball brand. Screwball is you want a good taste of peanut butter whiskey, which is really good. That's what you want. Screwball brand. Cheap imitations, not so much. Oh yeah, that was really good. Spilled a little bit on me and the computer, and it's all good though. Yeah, welcome to the show. The the Zoom link is in the chat if anybody would like to join that. I want to share something that somebody shared with me. Our friend Lori sent me a really cool piece article that someone wrote, named Umar, and I'm not saying that correctly, but I might read a little bit of that later. But yeah, just one thing I did want to talk about was just all the corruption. What a fucking joke society and life has become. We're watching Ozark the other night. Ozark is kind of like a Breaking Bad show, and it just got me thinking about all the corruption. And one thing I did like about Breaking Bad, I do like about Ozark, is how they really kind of break it down. How corrupt, the both sides are corrupt. You got mafia controlling, infiltrating, the government at the highest end, and then you got, of course, you got big oil pharma, all just rich people. Basically, if you have enough money, you can blow up the Twin Towers and use that to justify a war on the planet, on the people, and everybody just fucking goes along with it, right? It's so fucked up, man. How fucking corrupt, and it's just so allowed to happen. People just turn a blind eye because, oh no, we can't, we can't think of reality like that, because then that would mean that our vote doesn't matter. Of course, voting matters. We got to do that because we can vote ourselves out of this. No society has ever fucking voted themselves out of a problem, no matter how small or minor. It only gets worse, and but things are so bad right now. That's what kind of what this article was. I'm gonna go find that actually, because it was really, really good. Hey, somebody sent me $20. Cool, man. Thank you to whoever that is. Yeah, I'm on PayPal. If anybody like to PayPal help me out, I really appreciate it. I like money. Things are so corrupt and so just fucked up, that it's really hard. It's really hard to deal with people. Go to work, participate in society. I'm so fucking. There's no way I could go to work if I had to have a job right now. There's just no fucking way I can function, or I even have dreams where I can't function. Um, oh, hey, Joanne. Yep, anything is possible for the elite. Yeah, you can. I mean, hell, you could even just, um, oh man, who's that football player? God, his name escapes me right now, but he's just a football player, and he, murdered a couple people. and just fought his way through it. You know, I mean, granted, not many of us have the kind of money that a pro football player has, but it's so corrupt, man. It's just so corrupt. So you think of like about the true elite that have all the money, they can literally get away with anything. Hey, Grateful Dan. You know, and then when you have money, you don't even have to work to make money. Your money makes money on money. And then if you're poor, you get higher interest rates, you get charged for not having enough money in your bank account, you get penalized for that. So then they charge you more money that you don't even fucking have. And everybody's just, you know, all the assholes, the narcissists that are growing by the numbers, have been growing by the numbers as you know, we've been collapsing for roughly 2,000 years, at least my entire lifetime. Uh, these people are just, they're such assholes, and they're just like, well, you just got to work your way. You just got to work hard. You just got to work hard. Fuck, dude, I worked multiple jobs. I had jobs where I had like fucking probably 30 jobs at one time, between you know, working for my parents, doing my newspaper, announcing races, writing for other publications, working for Clear Channel when I worked for them. Back then, I was doing like literally, like I had 30 jobs. I was doing work for a few other publications, working at multiple racetracks. Back then, I probably worked at about 10 or so Georgia racetracks. Um, you know, I mean, I wouldn't have the energy to I don't have the energy to do anything. Like, I feel like I've spent my entire life trying to keep up, you know, with the bills, and just that literally took everything out of me. So I'm at the point and the age and the time due to collapse, you know, in everything that, and then seeing how ridiculous others are acting. Um, there's just no fucking way I could deal with people at all. So again, I'm really fortunate that you know, as long as we're selling our house and moving, and as long as that goes through, then you know, I'll be good to go for the rest of the time that money is the thing, and we need it, which I don't think is very much longer. But I mean, who knows? I didn't think we would make it to 2022. Here we are, and it's we're even into February. We made it to fucking February 2022. So I'm shocked. You know, I'm happy for it, but at the same time, you know, the people that are poor are, they don't like every day. And not that I like every day, but I can at least kind of deal with it better, because I don't have to work right now. Um, you know, my biggest job is getting this house moved, all our stuff emptied out and cleaned out so that the new owners can come in. Hopefully that happens. You know, and then everything will, you know, there'll be stuff to do as far as moving and get settled in and trying to find a place, you know, trying to find our next place, and hopefully hopefully crossing a couple things off of mine and my wife Tammy's bucket lists. You know, do concentrate on some of that kind of stuff. You know, as long as we are able to do that and we have the money and there's still gas at the gas stations. I don't know how much longer that's going to be, but you know, as long as it's there, we're definitely lucky to have that ability to you know, get the gas and go try to do some bucket list kind of stuff. So our friend Lori sent me this article from Umair Hake. Umair, Umair, and Hake is Haque. He's on Twitter, so I just started following him on Twitter now, thanks to this article. And the article, I'll post the link to this article after the show. I'll post a link in the comments. But it's titled, "This is What a Civilization Ending Feels Like." Pretty good title. And then the subhead, "We've had a premonition of civilization ending and it's driving us crazy. Yes, yes. So um, he goes into every age has a reigning zeitgeist. A wise mind once said, an atmosphere, a reigning disposition, a certain attitude. Ours, it seems to be flat out crazy. Couldn't agree more. Something seems to be driving people insane these days, unhinged. The world seems out of control because, well, the people in it, many of them, seem to have lost their damn minds. Yeah, like I'm saying, this is a really good article. I don't know if I read the whole thing, but just to kind of give you an idea of this. The second paragraph is I'm speaking, of course, of any of endless examples, the anti-maskers, the conspiracy theorists, your average workday Illuminati guy, the anti-vaxxers, the ones that believe the elites are secret aliens. This is some good Alex Jones shit right there. We want a mass die off of humanity. You can dismiss this, I guess, but we're drowning in extreme levels of crazy. Crazy has become our new normal. It's 24/7. It's relentless, out of control. This age feels as if humanity is slowly or rapidly going bananas. Yeah. Let me give you two examples. I've been thinking a lot about the folks at my dog park, erstwhile normal and sane, who around about last year started to slip in little fragments of total lunacy during our everyday conversations. We watched the dogs wheel and laugh in delight. How are you dealing with COVID? I asked. Fine, I guess. We laugh ruefully. And then they say, it's all part of a plan, right? I raise my eyebrows while they're not looking. Or take the little corner shop. It's run by brown people from the subcontinent like me, and I speak the language. I call them uncle, and we laugh and joke usually about how things are here versus back home. But again, around about last year, something strange happened. I asked about COVID, and I got told in our native tongue that COVID was a conspiracy. And then they showed me a YouTube video about the Illuminati. What the? That's how far this kind of crazy is spreading, right down to the old brown uncles I speak Urdu with at my local corner shop. It's far from the preserve of maniacal Trumpists or idiot Brexiters, but it's literally everywhere and it's spreading like wildfire. I got chills thinking about how my horrific uncles seem to have been radicalized into end times crazy. I'm going to struggle to express all this well. Maybe I already am. Do you have this feeling these days that way too many people seem to suddenly have lost their minds and are in the grips of jaw-droppingly weird, bizarre, absurd beliefs that might better be called mass delusions, collective psychosis, and then act like it's totally normal? Does it make you feel powerless and dislocated? Yeah, it does. Like you're literally standing there watching people's minds come undone. While whole countries' minds, like America and Britain, you have this weird feeling like the human race can't cope any longer with what it's wrought, that human minds can't take it anymore. So it runs away in fear and terror. That's what I'm talking about. Why is that? What on earth is driving the human race crazy? And he goes on about smartphones and inequality, and then says it's my guess goes like this. It's hard to put into words, so I'm going to try and probably fail and forgive me if and when I do. I think we've seen a premonition of the end of our civilization, and it's driving us mad. We're going end times crazy. And then he goes on to explain what he means by that. He talks about the pandemic and how we just swept it under the rug here in a lot of the Western and and more first world countries kind of did nothing. They swept it under the rug and even said it was a hoax and all that kind of insanity. Wearing a mask is too much. That's too hard. And oh, I don't care. It's just a flu. He kind of goes on about that kind of stuff with COVID. And I will. It's a pretty long article. I'll stop it there. But I'll post the I'll post a link and you guys can read it and check it out. I think you guys will really dig that. So just catch up in the good to see some folks in the chat. And yeah, Dan Dan says death and destruction this summer, aerosol masking. Yeah. And and there's somebody on here named aerosol masking. I love it. I'm not sure who you are, but that's a great name. Of course, yeah, you spot on, Grateful Dan. Yeah, I agree too. Um, um, Billy Joe Smo says, my friends that are in severe denial are starting to act really crazy. Yeah, man, I've been thinking about my parents and how much I want to strangle them sometimes, but in doing and keeping me from that, I just don't talk to them ever. And I cut off ties with my dad long ago, not long after Trump came in, and my mom's a Trumper too, and I did my best, but after the last uh, year plus, about 15 months, I can't deal with that either, with her either. So, cut off ties to um, ties with all people who are awful. This, I mean, I know that you can't, if you have to go to work, you can't get away from your coworker and your boss and your customers and that kind of shit. But man, if you can, it is so much better. Um, uh, the Grateful Dance says humans can't even cope with a pandemic. How do you think humans will cope with no food and no fuel? Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be pure chaos. I was talking to a friend of mine today, a friend of the channel. He is he's got the rebreather. Of course, we know that doesn't look like it's working. But he's going more Buddhist, and he's not gonna harm himself. He's gonna, let himself suffer and die of natural causes or whatever. With what's coming. And I mean, to each their own. Of course, I didn't try to change his mind or nothing like that. I totally respect it's his body, his choice, right? So I wasn't trying to change his mind or anything like that. But I was just really surprised that and good for him to be able to be okay, to be okay with going that route, the dealing with the suffering and just you know at the end. So that's uh that's important. I think that's a good if you can do that. I can't do that, man. I cannot. I don't want to suffer. And what was really cool and surprising that he was able to do that is that because he was really stressing about not suffering in the end. And we talked about the rebreather and other methods and all that. So I'm really glad for him that he's more at peace. He's been, like I said, he's been practicing Buddhism for a couple months now and gotten really into it, and meditating, stuff like that. And I that's awesome that people can do that. Each their own, and it just, unfortunately, it doesn't work for me. I know that I don't want to suffer. In the end, I've got my sodium nitrite. I want to still take uh my rebreather um kit and still use the mask from it and maybe incorporate it into the inert gas mask, and try to do it like that. I don't know, but I'm not going to throw it away, because who knows, maybe Richard Avocet will come out with a fix for it, but I kind of doubt that. It seems like ghosting people. They're trying to ask questions or get their money back, which everybody deserves a refund if the fucker doesn't work. And it appears that it doesn't, even though Dr. Nitschke said that he never said it doesn't work. He said that we just don't have any good feedback. Well, that's a red flag for me. and to use caution for the time being. The fuck is that about? That doesn't make any sense. And he said that on the Hemlock Society of San Diego private Zoom that has been rebroadcast, but the Zoom has been edited. So I never even posted the Zoom link to the edited version that they did post because it's so edited. My question about getting a refund has been edited out. There's a lot of stuff about the rebreather was edited, and I had asked a question about if the group or Dr. Nitschke as well has seen an uptick in people looking for exit plans, peaceful exit methods, due to climate change and the destruction of the planet, of a living planet. And he didn't understand my question, and said, sure, if anybody wants to, do exit to help save the planet, that's not a bad thing. Completely ignoring the fact that no, that's not. It has nothing to do. We could all die tomorrow, and the planet will just die quicker because, of course, in nuclear power plants break down, we lose aerosol masking as well, and the planet cooks rapidly when we stop polluting it because we've just annihilated the atmosphere. The ozone layer is gone. Other than the pollution that we put up, is the only thing that blocks sun enough to keep us from cooking rapidly, right? So, yeah, Grateful Dan, I understand. Sorry, you have to cut off ties with your family, saying many of them are Trumpers. Denial, our whole family are Trumpers. Yeah, mine too, man. God, man, my wife's mom has mixed children, and we walked into her house, and she had fucking Fox News on, and I'm just like, how the fuck are you? How do you have mixed kids and you're racist? And thinking back, I had a coworker that has a mixed kid, and she was racist as fuck, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. People can have mixed kids and still be racist. You know, uh, it's I can't wrap my head around that shit, man. But if I didn't see it, I wouldn't understand it, and I still don't understand it, even after I see it. And Grateful Dan said, "Oh, did you guys hear that Shell Gas has said their carbon capture is making the climate crisis worse?" Oh, wow. But that's interesting. No, I hadn't heard that. Of course, like I joked last week, that we don't even have the technology to capture a toddler fart, and if we did, we have nowhere to put it. You can't just sweep it under the rug, or put it in a barrel and drop it to the bottom of the sea, or bury it. We're just completely fucked. We should have never dug up 450 billion years of fossil fuels and burned them all up into the atmosphere in the span of a couple hundred years, right? So that's pretty suicidal. It doesn't get any more simpler than that. And yeah, Grateful Dan. Yeah, carbon capture, if it was possible, that even the UN said that would be the only thing that could save us. Of course, we know that still doesn't bring back all the species that we've driven to extinct, 150 to 200 species per day since at minimum 2010. So that's 12 years ago when we started just really annihilating the planet. And of course, we know it was happening well before then, right? Well before then. But that's just when it became official news, when the UN at least admitted that, yeah, we're pretty much doing ourselves and the planet and everything. And so yeah, that's pretty much yeah, UVC. Man, there's so much I forgot about UVC. And nitrous oxide, that's another one too. Billy Joe Smo says UVC is leaking into the atmosphere. That is why road signs are blistering and some trees and plants are burned. Yeah, I was talking to just on private messenger, Jean-Michel Perny from he lives in I forget which island in Hawaii, but he said that the avocado, the plant leaves are just burning through The sun is so hot that it is just, it feels, I mean, the way he was describing it, not his words, but the way he was describing it was like, putting yourself under a magnifying glass while you're standing outside. He said that he had to alter his activities where he sleeps during the day and then he's active and doing work and everything that he needs to do, he does at night. Because of he's saying it was just too hot to go outside during the day. So we're seeing more and more of that. We know that the methane this summer in the northern hemisphere is probably going to be added up, with after a pretty good year of coming out, um, at pretty high numbers. That's probably going to cook us this summer, if not next summer, but this summer. Even if we don't all get cooked, it's going to be harsh. I mean, we saw last summer, we saw 133 or 135 degrees, and no 100 it was 150. It was really hot in Death Valley, California. Now I forget the exact number, and maybe it was 135, or maybe it was, yeah, 133, 135. That's way too hot. It might have been hotter. I can't remember. Yeah. Oh, that's another good thing. Billy Joe Smo, that that all the media, Fox, CNN, it, all brainwashed, tell you how and what to think, and yeah, and even PBS. PBS is sponsored by oil. Oil companies, Koch brothers. You name it. They're not even PBS is any good, and hasn't been. I don't think PBS has even been, for the public, for the truth, and if not my entire lifetime, and most of my lifetime, because I can remember PBS in the 70s, and it was definitely a lot better than it is now, but it was still, looking back, it was still shit. So, yeah, just and it's hard. I mean, even whistleblowers, like, I used to have a lot of respect for Joe Rogan. Rogan, and Rogan used to have like a good podcast. He had Michael Rupert on a couple times. He's done some good interviews, but man, he's gone to shit over the last few years. There's no real fucking podcasters that I think are, or news outlets, or journalists that are really any good. And if I find somebody that's out there that's talking real, like I still love Guy McPherson's work, but of course he talks about mirrors. He talks about, only love remains, just like some kooky shit. It's just kooky shit. So everybody is, even no matter how good somebody might be, how real and truthful somebody might be, they're still gonna throw out some kooky shit. It seems like, and I just can't find some of that stuff. So yeah, it's hard for anybody to find any real, you know, really any information that's that's has any merit to it. And then on top of that, you just you know, and that's another thing I wanted to talk about too. People in Hollywood, I used to think that like Susan Sarandon, um, you know, Woody Harrelson, people like that, I used to think were good, good people. And then one of the things, actually the first time I met Guy McPherson, he told me about ICM partners, and that's basically to be any kind of a high level, politician, entertainer. You have to go through. You have to be a part of ICM. It's International something management. I forget the acronym, but ICM is the letters of it. Yeah, he absolutely right about that. So that way, like even when Jane Fonda went all anti-war, and you know that was too much, so she was blacklisted for a while. So she had to tone it down to get some more. good work back, and get some more income coming in. These people, even if they have a good intention, they can't go all the way with it. They have to, just be a little bit here and there. I know it's talking about Bernie Sanders and AOC and people like that as well on the last, I think it was last week's show. And I stand behind that because they are all part of ICM. ICM part. Uh, if they really truly were for us, they would not be where they're at now, or they would be dead. Martin Luther King Jr., a perfect example, or silenced in a way that Mumia Abdul Jamal is silenced. Mumia is another one that I do appreciate. I don't mention his name enough. I would really love to interview that guy. Maybe I'll try to send him an email and on of how hard it is to get a hold of him. I know he's all of his stuff seems to come from Prison Radio Network, PRN, Prison Radio Network. I think that's his. But I think that's just one person, Noel Hammerhead, who makes these reports. And that guy is amazing. He's never even seen the internet and is basically in solitary confinement and knows what he knows. I would really like to talk to him about that. He's always been someone that I really look up to, and I found out about him through Della Biafra. Um, and even Della is. I never thought I would see the day to where I'd have to say, Della Biafra, you suck. Jello is a voter. He says he denies human extinction. He says that we got to vote and we got to vote Democratic, and that is just fucking idiocracy. Uh, you know, that's almost like voting for the comet. I mean, just for the jobs it'll bring. Something I don't know. Uh, Billy Joe Smo says right now on Google Scholar, the latest scientific papers are very dismal and paint a dark future. Yeah, they do that's right. It's all like 2030, 2050, 100, because they use the old models that change only happen. A slight change only happened like every 10,000 years, but because this is anthropogenic climate change, human caused, it's happening so much faster as we continue to overpopulate, out of control, shoot out of control. Um, that it's a spiral, and it's happening faster, faster every day. Guys, uh, uh, I want to thank everybody for joining me tonight. Throat's getting a little dry. Hmm. Sorry about that. Throat's getting a little dry. It's dinner time. Um, I would love to chat with you guys on the Zoom too, but I know it's hard to come on live and talk about this stuff. A lot of folks don't have a lot of folks need their privacy, so I can completely understand that. So just a reminder, I do private Zoom meetings on Tuesdays at this time, 6 o'clock Eastern US. So email me at practicetrack@yahoo.com, and I'll get you added to the email list. It's growing every week, so thank you guys. And we've had some really good Zoom meetings last couple weeks, especially. Lots of good laughs, lots of good stories, and being able to get our thoughts out there, amongst others who haven't gone crazy and are trying to continue not to go crazy in this crazy fucking bullshit world that we live in. So yeah, keep them pizzas coming, man. Keep ordering pizza as long as there's pizza delivery. It's not time to break out your method yet, unless you've got other problems you're with age or an illness. You know, something like that. Of course, everybody's story is different. Everybody's timeline is going to be different because who knows, we might not see 130-degree temperature in Georgia until next summer. If it's only for a few days, maybe we can suffer our way through it. Um, I don't know. It's gonna things will be kind of sporadic at first, I think. But then again, you know, fuel's still got to travel. Food still has to travel, and when that stops, when it slows down much more, or it keeps getting, that's why obviously things are getting expensive more and more. In February, things are supposed to go up another 10 to 30%. Here we are in February, so that's now. That's could happen this month. And that information comes from Canadian Prepper, who is a doomer. He, you know, as we all know, we don't really believe in prepping more than maybe a couple weeks, just in case the power does come back on and the fuel does come back to the filling station and the food does come back to the stores. But beyond a couple weeks, I really don't have. Um, I don't, for myself anyway. I don't have more prep than that because that's all I think we're going to need. Then it'll be time to test out those exit plans. Um, but yeah, yeah, join us on the private Zooms on Tuesday, and you guys have a good week. We'll keep doing these live streams and Tuesday Zooms as long as we can. Once I get moved, I might be on the road a little bit more often, and schedule might be a little more hit and miss. But you know, we'll see. We'll see how that goes when the time comes. Still gonna do all this stuff. It just might change. Sometimes it might be on different days, or might have to take a week off it. Some, you know, some week when we're out of town or traveling or something. Um, and Billy Joe Smo said Dr. Michael Mann admitted to me that he's playing the media game and allows them to edit his message. Sure, yeah, absolutely. Um, they're promising him, I'm sure, a nice bunker or some nice privileges to. And he's the kind of person anyway that you know, he's always been a spoiled little brat, and he's now a spoiled adult scientist, um, who you know, yeah, he's gonna lie about everything and say we can just turn off fuel and fix it. Everything will go back to normal. All the species will come back, and the oceans will clear, and we won't be eating plastic, a credit card in plastic every week. It'll all we gotta do is just turn off the fossil fuel button, right? Yeah. Michael, man, what a shit show that guy is. All right. Thanks again, everybody. I'm gonna end the uh end the show now. No, we'll see you in a few days and see you on the live stream